Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. I'm going to be sharing with you a very exclusive video of my account, my personal builds, and I'll be sharing with you secrets to increase your cost efficiency, at the same time help you tackle harder endgame bosses if you want to make your way there as well. This is a very exclusive video because I have basically one of every attribute. So whether you play strength, whether you play intelligence, dexterity, and luck, I have each character clearing Hard Lotus and Damien. So I have something for everyone in this video as well. So let's start off first. I have basically 5 characters that are clearing Hard Lotus and Damien, excluding swaps. So if you include swaps, there will be 10 characters that can do Hard Lotus and Damien. But for the sake of this video, I have just 5 complete sets of gear, and I have a couple of mules over here, but I'm not going to be touching on them. So I have like a dual Lotus and Damien mule. I just removed the gear. I have another one 6 mil here and another one like 6 mil. So these 3 are like duals, but I'm going to ignore the duals for this video. I'm just specifically focusing on the Hard Lotus and Damien clears. I'm going to start off with my weakest, and then we will work our way to the top. Of course, very exciting. The most cost-efficient character right now in the game to enter Hard Lotus and Damien is actually Shadower. So over here, I have a 17-18 mil Shadower. My gear is not complete as well. My remainder of my gear is actually like stuck on my Shadow over here. This future swap, because I have like this 21 star just waiting to swap. I have this like really nice stuff, all upgrades that I have on this character. But for the sake of this video, I have an 18 million Shadower here, which is actually, if you have a whole team of Shadowers, is very, very efficient already in Lotus currently. The meta is to run like as many Shadowers as you can with one Bishop. On average, if everyone's like 18 million and everyone survives to the end, you can actually clear it really well. So Shadowers are super, super meta. Does it look like? I don't even have like full apps, so you can see over here, it's like super budget gear. So I'm using a Zakun cape. These are really cheap. Granted, it's like 21 stars, but the cost to start for this is like half of your earrings cost, or even like a fifth of like belt cost and stuff. So these are very affordable, very cheap. It's very cost effective. I like just made it even more cost effective because Shadow is so efficient. Just running, this one's like an 11 star epic boot. Some of you even have like better boots than I, with like maybe 17 stars or stuff. So you're likely going to be way higher. But my Shadow is actually my lowest investment character right now. I'm mostly investing in the other attributes. I'll share with you why in a little bit. But for those of you who are looking for a budget-friendly character to do Lotus, to get like the 30 million boss Nesos and start like networking with endgame players, this is a character that is very, very efficient in terms of dollar to getting into the hard bosses right now content. What else do I have here? I'm just running like 18 stars. You do need a couple of 18 stars. So on average, to get to 18 mil, I have 1 18 stars. I have 1 17 stars here. This one is 17 stars. It's not even like legendary. So the stars matter because you get attack. So it helps you out a lot. But at the same time, you want to check the potentials to make sure they are there as well. So I don't have any like lines on this because it's like -2 skill cooldowns and like 6% all stat. So you could get a lot more lines and have higher CP if you had removed those skill cooldowns and put it with attribute lines. So 1, 2, 3 for your accessories and your hat. Next one, of course, I have a 20 star earring over here. So it makes up for the lack of maybe one item that is not 15 stars and above, because you can only get attack from 15 stars and above. Before that, anything below 15 stars, you only get attributes stats basically. The attack is what you want. So 20 stars over here, which is basically 2 items. Let's count this as 2 17 stars, shall we? So 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5. So 5 17 star gear. You will see that it makes up for it later on. My belt here, also 17, so I have a total of 6 17 stars. Boots, if you have a 17 star boot, or even if you have like Sickness 21 star, I see a lot of people using Sickness 20 stars, which gives you a lot of stars and helps you boost your CP incredibly. So a good way to increase CP is to skip Absol, run like Enraged Zakun Cape or like Sickness and stuff. Just go for the Star Force because that gives you a lot of CP. I have a Zakun Cape here. This is like roughly 2, another 2, so 8 17 star gear. I have a Sickness one over here, 17 stars. So that gives me like 9 17 stars. I have one over here. Even though it looks like it's legendary on the bottom, it's actually in only like 1 line and like barely a half. So total of 10 17 star items. you can really get by with like a Zakum kit, for example, or like much more cost effective. That's the rough estimate that you need. Of course, if you have set bonuses and stuff, it's going to make it a lot easier. Abso helps you get a lot because Abso set bonus basically is like 1 17-star item. So if you have a 4-piece set, you basically kind of have like a 5, 6, 17-star item, which really helps you become super, super efficient in your cost. I will show you later on the rest. But that's just more or less what is the requirements. I'm not going to be going through every single item. Like I'm just going to like hover it. You can see my accessories are more or less there. To get to like 17, 18 mil, no one is going to tell you that it's going to be super easy to get to with like unique and rare gear only, because you are pretty much clearing content that by right should have been a 5th job content. So that's pretty much what I'm using. For my weapon, I'm using just a 12 stars, so you don't need like to be super, super stacked, super expensive gear or whatsoever. I'm just using a 12-star Fafnir Damascus over here. If you have good lines on the B port or like better than mine, you probably can do with a little bit less, or if you have more stars, you can do with less lines. But this is really, really solid as well. I'm using the Fafnir for the set bonus here, so I can get the 30% boss damage as well. It's very, very cost effective because a lot of people cube for free their daggers. So I bought this one off the market. It was relatively affordable. If I were to make it myself, I would spend way much more. My CRA stuff, I don't really like to Star Force these that much unless I'm planning to take that character very, very end game, or if I really like the potential so much that I think that that item is worth investing. For stuff like this, it's like neither here nor there, just like 2 lines, 1.5 lines of luck. And it's really, really fine just leaving it at 11. It costs us quite a bit to take the CRA stuff up to 17, but at the same time, you don't really get the huge benefit because you only get like how much attack? Like maybe just a couple of attack, like maybe 15, 17 attack, which you can get for much cheaper, half price on your accessories. For one of these items, you can get the same amount of stats in 2 accessories for the same price. So 1 CRA, 2 accessories, same price. I don't know. I prefer the accessories first and then do these last. But up to you, I guess. Next one, of course, is my Slashing Shadow. I do not have a Shadower secondary with 3 lines in the bonus potential. Even though there have been a lot of opportunities to buy, the reason is for that is I want to switch to a dual blade eventually. So once dual blade comes out, I'm going to move my entire Shadower gear over, which is why you can see like I invested in the dagger. I have another cooldown head on my other Shadower right now, and I also have an emblem that is also pretty decent. These are all investments for eventual switch to the dual blade. So I'm just using a modest 12-12 bonus potential here, which is still quite decent. It's like 12-9-3, which is better than the 12-9. It's like about the same at 12-9 damage, 12-9% damage, more or less. But I have a bit of boss damage there on the top, really nice, so giving me a lot of damage. And that pretty much is my first character, helping me reach about 18 mil CP with all the pets, because this one, like, there's no pets on. Slapping on the pets, I'm roughly about like 19 mil. The general threshold to be like really good is like 20 mil. 20 mil is like when you are like 100% pulling your weight, so you're probably doing equal. If you're something less, you probably need to add like some kind of value, like either be a bishop, a paladin, a shadow with a lot of utility, or a corsair. These 4 are the meta classes. Other than that, you want to look at higher than 20 for most other classes. It's unfortunate, but some of these classes are a lot more efficient. Of course, I'm 210. I'm swapping over to 215 in a little bit, but pretty strong. This is my shadow here, clearing Heart Lotus, my first character of the luck class. I really like it a lot. It's the easiest character. If you guys are struggling in Heart Lotus and Heart Lotus at all, start with this class. This is the easiest class, other than Paladin maybe. But yeah, so Shadower, first character. The second character that I have, normally I'll go like Bishop first, but my Bishop is actually a lot more built. But the only reason why I'm not touching on it is because I split the gear, which I explained a bit. Let's talk about the Marksman next. This is a very underrated character that does ridiculous amounts of damage and is actually very safe. Because you're at a distance, Lotus really can't kill you that much. So I find it very, very nice to play with in Heart Lotus. I hardly die unless like I'm dreaming or like doze off, because I just get bored of just standing in one corner shooting, ignoring every single mechanic except the meteors. Roughly around like 24 million CP. But if I were to add in the pets and change up my links and whatever, not Legion and stuff, I will probably be somewhere sitting around like 25 plus with sharp eyes for the party. So doing quite a bit of utility as well. To get to 25 mil, you can see that the gear difference is much more significant compared to like an entry level into Hard Lotus and Damien 17, 18 stars, where you don't really need too many high Star Force items. You can see on my Shadower, the only items I had beyond 18 stars were like my Black Bean Mark and my Cape. The rest of them, all less than 19 stars. So in comparison, my 24, 25 mil CP marksman, I have a couple of higher Star Force items. One is my Archer's Absolute shoulder over here. This is 21. 17 here. I have 10 star here. So it's more or less the same as the Shadow so far in terms of the 3 pieces over here, because the Cape and the Absolute shoulder just swap around. So these 3 items, more or less the same. The gloves is more or less the same as the Shadow as well. I also has like a 17 star item over here. For my CRA, I have 1 at 17, 1 at 11. So these I usually do like the last, unless I'm really trying to push for additional CP or stats. So these 2, just 1 ahead. For my belt over here, I have a 21 star belt for my marksman. I have a 21 star pet mark for my marksman and a 20 star, or the 17 star. So it's like I have 2 21 stars over here, and I have a 17 star Chaos Tiara. So what total of 3 items that are 21 stars, and Dawn Pen here, which I boomed. So it used to be 17 and then it boomed down to like 11. So I can gain quite a bit of CP here, like maybe another like 500k if I were to take it back up to 17 stars. But yeah, not super a lot of 21 stars yet, but most of the stuff here are like my weapon here is more or less 17 stars. My secondary is also more or less 6 lines, and my emblem is also 6 lines. So this is what it will kind of look like your account if you are approaching a 24 mil account, more or less. You are probably approaching towards the current maximum end game currently, but it's also not the most whale because I'm still using an off piece over here. You can see in the signals. So this is something that is going to be a very stable DPS. Will get you into most parties, especially if you're playing the right class. If you're playing like great meta classes, definitely you'll find parties very easily. And if you guys are finding parties, let me know in the comments below. We're happy to link you up with people who are also looking for members to party with and play, so that you guys can get more loot, right? One of the hardest things is like finding people, but that's what we do on this channel. We link people together, we help people out. So do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and joining as a member to support our channel to go further as well in this game, to help us all make some money. So that is my second character. That's my Dex class. Now I'm going to move on to my bishops. This is, in my opinion, the lowest CP that you need to get into Hard Lotus, but you probably blue dot. So you kind of need to get carried, but if you are looking, if you have friends or you know people, bishop is technically the thing that CP matters the least, because all you need to do is buff your team, know exactly the mechanics of the boss, and don't die. So of course, if you are a better bishop, you can do damage and you can heal your party and prevent other people from dying. But let's not go there. It's going to be a little bit, probably a bit more tricky for a lot. So I have 2 bishops right now. One is 21 mil CP. With pets and everything is 23 mil. And my main bishop, Risha here, is 22 mil on this screen. But I'm without the earring. So with the earring, I'm probably closer to like 26. So I split my gear into 2 bishops. So I have a 23 and 26 mil CP bishops to go into like more parties, more entries. But at the same time, with 5th job on the way, having more bishops means that you are able to join with other DPSs who maybe are looking for that duo man clear, 3-man clear, and they want a strong bishop pair as well. So that's why I just like move my gear into 2. Otherwise, I can just like remove one of my bishop's gear, move it to like Ice Lightning or like Luminous, have a bind and a bit of a DPS ready for a mage class as well, or even move to like a fire poison. So I have a lot of flexibility given that I have 2 characters that are now like 20 mil CP bishops. I'll show you the cheaper one, the cheaper bishop, because most of you are familiar with my main character by now. I've talked about it for like the past 6-7 months when we are making content already. But basically, what this character is using is I am using an Absolute staff that is not 17 stars. I find this very cost effective, gives you a lot of CP, and it has very, very high base stats. So, excuse me, a lot of people like to go for Fafnir with high stars, and it's actually quite expensive to get the Star Force up. Absol gives you a lot, especially if you can get a nice 3 lines legendary and a little bit like in the B port and stuff, you can actually get it really, really strong because of the amount of attack that it gives for the Affliate's weapon. So I'm just using this on my mill. I bought it and then I just like put 10 stars in it and it's really, really fine. Working very well. Much better than my unique Fafnir weapon, which gave me, I think, another 2 mil, 3 mil CP just from this weapon alone. And I didn't even like touch the B port. So very, very tremendous. So I am sitting roughly around like 22. Compared to the marksman, you will see that the gear is not as fantastic. My secondary here is also not really that great. I don't have a perfect 6 line. I have more like a 5.5 line, 5.5 line, because damage 9% is not optimal, but it's still at least a usable line. For my emblem here, it's still a 6 out of 6, but magic attacks are a lot cheaper as well. So that's why bishops are very, very cost effective. Even my weapon here, you can compare with my marksman. This is a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. CRA, though I'm using 2 17 stars because it's a lot easier to find stars here than probably my Absol. So I decided I'm just going to put it in the CRA. Anyway, the CRA lasts longer than the weapon because you'll be keeping these two. And mages, you can play bishops almost forever. And these are going to be all the way to endgame. So I invested a bit into the CRA top and bot for my bishop as well. So I have here a 17 stars. Most of them are 17 star items. So this is 17 stars. Black Beamer is like 18 stars with like unique. So you don't really need everything legendary. You can see a lot of my gears are still like some unique, some even rare, some even epic, some even rare on my gear. My hat is 17 stars. My earring here is 20 stars. And I think my key is 21. This is of course my main. So I split my gear. So a lot of the better gear, I just half them. So like this was on my main, 20 stars here. This was on my main, 21. Shoulder 17 stars. I have a 10-star boot here, not even like 17 stars or anything. And an 18-star glove. I'm still using like a Von Leon glove on a 20 plus mil CP. So it's very, very cost efficient. And my Dom pen is 21. This is from my main also. I just brought it over to make the CP more or less better. And my rings, accessories are a lot cheaper to like get double legendary with like 6 lines useful. So if you're trying to push the end game CP, those are where you find your CP from and your lines from. But more importantly, Bishop, you want to get to 30k. You probably can do that with Arcane Symbol later on if I'm like somewhere sitting around here. That's probably the benchmark again, endgame bosses. So I'm more or less sitting there. This is for my first Bishop. My second Bishop now really quickly because I split my gears. More or less the same. I'm missing an earring here, which is why I'm much lower, 22 mil CP. This gives me roughly around 3 to 4 million if I slap in the thing. So I'm probably sitting somewhere between 26-ish million plus pets, maybe even 27. But I dropped a bit of CP because I gave away a lot of my gear. So I'm using a weaker cape. I'm using a weaker shoulders. But I'm still using some of the better ones I have, like this 18-star glove, 18-star shoes. I have 2 17-star CRA over here. My weapon is 17 stars. And pretty much most of my best bishop stuff is here with my 6 lines book and my 6 lines double prime emblem as well. And my belt's like 17 stars. I'm using like the 17-star backup Dom pen here because my 21 star is elsewhere. And I'm using my better 20-star Black Bean mark for my bishop 21-star hat as well. So roughly, you don't need too many 20 plus stars item to get to around this CP. You can see I only have 1. I have 2. And that's about it. The rest of them are not 20 stars and above and sitting very nicely at 26 mil CP after I slap in the earrings. So you don't need too many 20 plus stars to get to this range, which is very, very affordable actually, relative to getting to like 30 mil CP and above. So you have covered 4 characters, 2 of them technically the same intelligence, but I wanted to show you how effective it is to just like split your gear a little bit here and there. You can get so much good characters already. Now, I don't have a 40 mil CP character on my account, maybe eventually, but I think I want to show some of you who are looking, what is the expectations to get around a 33 mil, 34 mil CP character. This is my hero, of course. My weapon is not really perfect because I just bought it. If I perfected my weapon, I probably would be sitting somewhere around 35, 36 mil CP. But that's in time to come. But the stars requirement to get around 30 plus million CP is a little bit more. And I can show you directly. So first, I have 121 star Dom pen over here. My Black Bean mark is 20 stars. My earrings here is 20 stars. So at 30 mil CP, more or less, a lot of your stuff will start to become 20 stars and above. My CRA here is 21 stars. This is 22 stars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, 20 stars and above already. So not cheap. My weapon here, which I recently bought, is 22 stars as well. So I have more 20 stars on this character than 17 stars in that range. So you can expect the cost differential. I also have full Absol on this character too. At everything 17 stars. I should push to 18 stars as well, but I'm a bit short of money now since I did some upgrading to get my 5 Heart Lotus Damien characters. But eventually I'll just try to push 1 more star on these because it does add up. If like all of these 5 items could get 1 more star, that's pretty much like a 21 star item already from what I have right now, which is quite incredible. And it's not that insanely difficult to get a 18 star relative to like a 21 star. So my helmet here also 17 stars. So everything is 17 stars, and my weapon is the only one that is really bad in potentials right now. You can see the lines are all over the place. I'm like a magic hero or something like that. But the rest of them are more or less fine. My emblem here, my secondary is 6 lines. My emblem is also 6 lines with a bit of ignore defense over there because my weapon doesn't have it. I just need 1 line here. But more or less everything else is pretty much, in my opinion, more or less good to go for 5th job. And that's my highest CP character. You don't really need this much. For hero, maybe you might, because in order to get the damage for hero right now, you do need it a little bit higher. So this is definitely not the ideal investment if you're looking for a low budget H Lotus clear. If you're looking for a low budget one, I think in summary, Shadower, Bishop, Paladin, these 3 are very efficient. Corsair is also very good. So Corsair, Shadower, Bishop, Paladin, these 4 are the cheapest characters to get into Lomien parties. And one underrated one that I think a lot of people are not paying attention to is Marksman's. Marksman gives a lot of sharp eyes damage to parties as well. They do a ton of damage and are very, very simple to play. Those are some of my thoughts. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful and appreciate these kind of sharings, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what else you guys want to see as well, because we are all adventuring on this journey together. Sometimes I don't exactly know what you guys want to know from me as well. I make a lot of mistakes, but I'm always glad to share them with you. And do consider joining as a member to support our channel to keep us going here. And see you guys in the next video.